Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's council meeting being held in the council chambers on this Monday, the 28th of August. We'll begin with the opening affirmation and acknowledgement of country. We gather to represent the people of Albury who have entrusted us with this task. May our efforts be blessed with insight, wisdom and common sense. May our personal values give us honesty and courage to serve our community effectively and with respect for all. We would like to acknowledge the Wiradjuri people as the traditional custodians of the land that we meet upon today and pay our respects to the elders past, present and future, for they hold the memories, culture, tradition and hopes of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people that contribute to our community. This council meeting is being webcast and recorded. By speaking at the council meeting, you agree to being recorded and webcast. Please ensure that if and when you are speaking at this council meeting that you are respectful to other people and use appropriate language. Albury City accepts no liability for any defamatory or offensive remarks or gestures made during the course of this council meeting. An audio recording will be made for administrative purposes. Item CM3, conflict of interest declarations received and disclosure of political donations. Mr. CEO.
Thank you, Mayor King. There are no conflicts of interest declarations received, and disclosure of political donations and the requirements under the Environmental Planning and Assessment Act requires a person submitting a planning application or submission regarding a planning application to disclose any reportable political donation and or gifts to any local councillor or council employee. Reportable political donations include those of or above $1,000. There are no development applications for consideration at this meeting. Accordingly, advice there ends. Thank you.
Thank you. CM4, apologies. Councillor Bowen.
Thank you. I'd like to move that the council receive, note and accept the apology of Councillor Baker and grant leave of absence for the meeting.
Councillor Thurley.
Second the motion, making.
Thank you. Councillors, we'll put the motion. Those for, those against, that motion is carried. CM 4.2, attendance by councillors at meeting by audio visual link. Councillor Thurley.
Thank you, Mayor King. I move that council receive, note and accept the attendance of Councillor Cameron via audio visual link for the meeting.
Thank you. Councillor Bowen.
I'd like to second that motion, making.
Thank you. Councillors will put the motion. Those for, those against, that motion is carried. CM5, Merrill Minute, there is none. CM6, action plans. Councillor Thurley.
Mayor King, I move the following action plans be received and noted. 1, actions complete for noting only. 2, actions awaiting response from external parties. 3, actions in progress. And 4, long-term issues more than 3 months.
Thank you. Councillor Bettridge.
Happy to second the motion, Mayor King.
Thank you. Councillor Thurley, did you wish to speak to any of the items? Any speakers for or against? Happy to put the motion. Those for, those against, that motion is carried. CM7, confirmation of minutes of previous meetings. CM 7.1, minutes of the council meeting held on the 14th of August 2023 at 6 p.m. Councillor Gluckin.
Thank you, through you, Mayor King, to move the recommendation as a motion. That's the right one. That the minutes of the council meeting held on the 14th of August 2023 at 6 p.m. be confirmed. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Bowen.
Thank you, Mayor King. Happy to second that motion.
Thank you. Any speakers for or against? In that case, happy to put the motion. Those for, those against, that motion is carried. Thank you. CM8, reports from community forums, there are none. CM9, notices of motion, notices of rescission, there are none. CM10, presentations and deputations, we have none. CM 11, reports, minutes of committees and working parties. CM 11.1, minutes of the local traffic committee meeting held on Thursday, the 10th of August, 2023. Councillor Glacken.
Thank you. Through you, Mayor King, to move the motion, recommendation as a motion. Yep, that's the one. That council receives, notes and accepts the minutes of the local traffic committee meeting held on Thursday, 10 August 2023.
Thank you. Councillor Thurley.
Second the motion, Mayor King.
Thank you. Do you wish to speak to the motion, Councillor Glacken, noting we also have a question?
Thank you. No.
Thank you. Question, Councillor Callaghan.
Thank you, Mayor King, and to the most relevant staff member. Just in regards to an item that didn't appear in this SAC but was supposed to be followed up in regards to it. In regards to the traffic lights at the East Street Hume Highway intersection, I believe that they have been fixed, but just wondering what the feedback was and the follow-up in regards to mitigating ongoing traffic congestion in that space.
Mr. Ferris.
Through you, Mayor King, and thanks for the question. I can follow that up with the traffic team and provide some information to the councillors. But yeah, as Councillor Callaghan indicated, my understanding is that the repairs have been undertaken and now they're doing some monitoring of the traffic there to determine what other treatments are possible. But I'll provide some further information on notice.
Thank you. Councillor Callaghan.
Thank you. And just more a statement, just note that the recommendation from the committee was to install a refuge on Benyon Street. And I think this is a really sensible idea, just given how busy that passage is with the construction of the hospital and also access to the bus stop and safe access to the hospital. So it was a really great recommendation for that refuge. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Callaghan. No more speakers for or against. Councillor Glacken, did you wish to sign? I'm happy to put the motion. Those for, those against, that motion is carried. Thank you, councillors. CM 12, documents for sealing, there are none. CM 13, officers' reports for consideration. CM 13.1, Albury Airport Taxiway Bravo upgrade, contract number 23/01221. Councillor Betteridge.
Thank you. Through you, Mayor King, I'd like to move that council accepts the tender from OP Delaney & Co Proprietary Limited for contract number 23/01221 Albury Airport Taxi Bravo upgrade for the lump sum amount of $2,089,450, including GST.
Thank you. Councillor Glacken.
Happy to second that. And I have a question.
Thank you. Councillor Betteridge, do you wish to speak to the motion?
Yes, just very briefly. The continued upgrading and maintenance of this important infrastructure to me is essential to the growth of our community and the strengthening of Albury City as a regional hub. AP Delaney as a local company have an extended period of time have provided excellent service and value for money across our city and broader region. I would encourage my fellow councillors to vote in favour of the motion before us. Thank you.
Thank you. Question, Councillor Glacken.
Thank you. Through you to the most relevant member of staff, if I may. With reference to page 36 of our agenda, the first page of the report says Taxiway Bravo is exhibiting various signs of pavement failure due to its age and inadequate strength. And then the scope of the works is to includes providing an asphalt overlay. Can you confirm that the strength, the inadequate strength is limited to that superficial existing asphalt pavement and not a substructure concern?
Mr. Ferris.
The question. Yes, so to strengthen the whole pavement, which includes the wearing surface, overlay is determined that would be suitable to bring that up to now taking the larger aircraft than when it was initially constructed many years ago. So the southern apron's become a busier apron as well as the proposals for the firefighting equipment and other aircraft that now utilise that runway, that taxiway.
Follow up, councillor
Thank you.
Gluckin.
Yeah, simply a clarifying and drilling down of that answer, if I may, through you to the most relevant member of staff. So to confirm, there is nothing wrong with the substructure. It is simply a superficial strengthening because the substructure is sufficiently robust.
Mr. Ferris.
Yeah, through you, Mayor King, that's correct. To strengthen the entire taxiway just requires the wearing surface to be overlaid.
Thank you, Mr. Ferris. Speaker 4, councillor Bowen.
Thank you, Mayor King. Through you, I'd just like to speak for the motion. It was great to see that the project was valued at $1.1 million in 2021, or estimated from a budgeting point of view. But then it was independently designed consultant redid it in May 2023 and made it quite a bit more with $2.5 million. So to come underneath the new estimated value is great. So I look forward to voting for this AP Delaney.
Thank you, councillor Bowen. Speaking for, councillor Gluckin.
Thank you. And to support the positive debate from councillor Betteridge and our deputy mayor, in essence, this is one of the many components of work that is part of the master plan of the Albury and locally known or by our visitors, the Albury-Wodonga Airport. It is a significant regional airport, and we cannot emphasise enough the importance of this ongoing work to ensure that we continue to maintain, grow and develop the Albury Airport to meet the existing and very much the future and expanding needs of that airport for our community of Albury, Wodonga and our region. We are now an airport where people drive for hours to utilise our airport to be able to fly to a number of increasing destinations because of the emergence of Albury and the regional airport on the map of airports in Australia. And so this ongoing work to develop and enhance this facility is extremely important. And we all know that air safety is critical. You don't get a second chance. So it's important that we maintain the airport in a timely fashion, and we have to do it to the best possible level. And so I'm very pleased to have heard the other councillors speak towards this, and Councillor Betteridge as one of the members of the Airport Advisory Committee. That's fabulous. So thank you very much.
Thank you, councillor Gluckin. If there are no further speakers, councillor Betteridge, do you wish to sum up?
To be put.
Thank you. In that case, we'll put the motion. Those for? Those against? The motion is carried. Thank you, councillors. CM 13.2, Albury City's Corporate Success Pillar Measures and Targets, June 2023. Councillor Gluckin.
Thank you. Through you to move the recommendation, the motion. The recommendation is a motion, get it around the right way. That Council A receives and notes the Albury City Corporate Success Pillars 2022-23, the available results. B endorses the Albury City 23-24 Corporate Success Pillar Measures and Targets. And C receives and notes the quarterly Corporate Success Pillar Scorecard, June 2023.
Thank you. Councillor Edwards.
Happy to second the motion, Mayor King.
Thank you. Councillor Gluckin, did you wish to speak to the motion?
Very briefly, it is part of our ongoing reporting to our community. It's the ongoing reporting to ourselves as a council and as councillors. And it's important that we see the results on an annual basis, so we can confirm where Albury City is tracking. It's a good report, and it also highlights the areas where work needs to be progressed, and that's why we deal with all of it in the one report. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Glacken. Question, Councillor Edwards.
Thank you, Mayor King. Through you to the relevant member of staff. Can staff please provide an update on some of the strategies in place to address the high number of staff vacancies, in particular the progress and timeframes for the review of the remuneration structure and development of a diversity and inclusion strategy?
Mr. Finlayson.
Through you, Mayor King, thank you for the question. Yes, there are a number of strategies in place. Some are ongoing, some are in development. I'm aware that there's an upcoming briefing of councillors regarding the progress in developing our diversity and inclusion strategy. We're also progressing a remuneration and grading review with some initial actions coming forward in the next month. We've also identified some longer term actions in reviewing our pay grade structure. I hope that helps with that question.
Follow up at all? No?
Yeah, I have a follow-up.
Follow up? Councillor.
Thank you. On a related issue, the staff turnover rates, I note that the improvement action to address the high staff turnover rate is to follow up reasons for resignations and report a summary of those reasons to the executive team, including additional information gathered from exit surveys. So my question is, has this work been undertaken, and will this report also be presented to councillors, potentially at a pre-meeting briefing session, along with specific actions to address the reasons raised?
Mr. Finlayson.
Through you, Mayor King, thank you for the question. Yes, potentially we can do that as well. We have been receiving, as well as service leaders and executive information relating to those exit interviews. We are also fortunate that the early trend in July for this new financial year is improving compared to what we experienced in the previous financial year.
Thank you. Another follow-up, another question. Councillor Callaghan.
Well, thank you, Mayor King. I have a question to the most relevant staff member. 49 days is the average time frame on development applications to be processed at this point. My question is, how long has Albury City Council been seeking assistance from the Regional Housing Flying Squad to support the processing of applications, and how many of these have they supported us with?
Thank you. Mr. Ferris.
Through you, Mayor King. This is the second round of the flying squad. So the first round, we certainly accessed that with mixed results. Some were processed reasonably quickly, while others took extended periods of time. But it was an extra resource, so we certainly utilised that. And now that the flying squad's been recommissioned as such for another round, we'll certainly reach out for some more support there.
Thank you, Mr. Ferris. Any other speakers for or against? Councillor Glacken, do you wish to close debate?
Thank you. Clearly, the corporate success pillars is a snapshot of where council is at the moment and where they're hoping to head. And it's an opportunity for all of our staff to be mindful of, or an opportunity for all of our staff to refocus their attention on what our core areas of work are and where they need to focus their attention. And so this is a great opportunity for that to happen, and was clearly evidenced by the answers given tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll put the motion, councillors. Those for? Those against? That motion is carried. Thank you. CM14, Officers' Reports for Noting. CM14.1, Investment Balances, July 2023. Councillor Thurley.
Thank you, Mayor King. I move that council receives and notes the investment balances report for the month of July 2023.
Thank you. Councillor Glacken.
Happy to second that.
Thank you. Councillor Thurley, did you wish to? No. Any speakers for? Speaker for, Councillor Glacken.
Yes, thank you very much. I note that the interest rates have gone up, which is always very good for council, especially because we have significant investments. I noticed the change that we've had with the investments into a variety of banks. I also know the noticed the clarification on page 51 with reference to Bank Vic. And I think it's a good opportunity for council to be reconsidering the investments and confirming that that investment will stay as it is. And there was one other thing. I noticed the increase by type being non-fossil fuel and how that continues to increase, noting that those investments, however, of course, must be made to show a positive outcome for Albury City. And so the investment advantage is not lost, but it means that the opportunity for some of those smaller banks is enhanced, the banks that are not the large four, which is good. Good for our community because it does support our community. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Glacken. Speaker 4, Councillor Callaghan.
Thank you, Mayor King. I'd just like to note also that Albury City is sitting in a positive cash position up on last year, and it's due to the timing of project expenditure and capital grant funding. So well done in this space.
Thank you, Councillor Callaghan. Councillor Thurley, happy to put the motion. Councillors, those for? Those against? That motion is carried. Thank you. CM 14.2, Operational Plan Quarterly Progress Report. Councillor Glacken.
Thank you. Through you to move the recommendation as a motion that the council receives and notes the Operational Plan Progress Report June 2023.
Thank you. Councillor Bowen.
Thank you, Mayor King. I'd like to second that motion.
Thank you. Councillor Glacken, did you wish to speak to the motion at all?
Very briefly, it is one of the key reports that we receive, indicating the progress of council against the works, a bit like the Pillars of Success. It's a snapshot in time, but it does show the positive work achieved by council, noting the very difficult time with respect to personnel, labour, and the number of people that every organisation and business is trying to find to increase their staff numbers. And it is also a difficult period with regards to resourcing. Trying to achieve any project completion at this time is very difficult. And I think to achieve the level of success that council has is to be acknowledged, and we should really be supporting our staff for the endeavours that they have gone to be able to achieve that success rate at the moment, noting the ongoing difficult circumstances.
Thank you, Councillor Glacken. Question, Councillor Edwards.
Thank you, Mayor King. It is great to see lots of projects on track, but I do have a question through to the relevant staff member about the Australia Park car park and linking footbridge project. The report notes that this project has been delayed due to protracted environmental assessment process, and that the construction phase is to be included in the 23-24 works program. Can staff please expand on this and provide an updated expected date of completion, please?
Mr. Ferris.
Through you, Mayor King, and thanks for the question. All environmental issues have now been fully investigated, and a treatment plan has been developed. The REF has been completed. We're due to release the project to market in September. Therefore, we would be looking to have a contract awarded before Christmas, and depending on availability of the contractor, commence shortly thereafter.
Follow up at all, Councillor Edwards?
Follow up and an expected date of completion, please.
Mr. Ferris, sorry.
Through you, Mayor King. As with all our tenders, we nominate a preferred duration. However, we leave that open to the contractor to specify their times. But given the size of the project, I would be looking at the first half of 2024 to complete, looking to have all the groundworks done before we move into the wetter periods, so that it's all those infrastructure works are completed and we can continue through without a break or inclement weather delays.
Thank you. Councillor Edwards.
Yep, thanks very much.
Thank you. Question, Councillor Callaghan.
I just have a question. Oh, can I just say it's extensive. There's a 104-page attachment of works that council are doing, and it's quite unbelievable to read through how much they've achieved and what they're still working towards as well. So, I had lots of questions about lots of projects that I'm sure we can answer in time. But I suppose one specific one that I'd been following up with for a little while now is in regards to the Vault Lane car park. With its lifts functioning and not functioning, with antisocial behaviours, trolleys being thrown off the top, and ongoing works that are happening in there. So just wondering if we can have an update on the preventative measures that have been taken in that space. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Millett.
Thank you for the question, and through you, Mayor King. Look, and I can certainly provide you some further detail after tonight, but certainly we've been working with our crime prevention team at looking at sort of short-term measures and then some longer-term measures with signage. We certainly have ongoing works with our lifts to ensure that they're up and maintained. It's good that there's 2 lifts in that facility that provide redundancy if one lift goes down. There's the second lift there as well. And in relation to objects being thrown off the top, we're still investigating the best approach to deal with screening on the top floor there, and then any other screening that would be required at other levels as well.
Thank you. Follow-up, was it?
A follow-up in relation to that, just in relation to the documentation too. I'd just probably like to really highlight a real shift in positive numbers. Don't really like to use the word COVID anymore, but I suppose it's some positive post-COVID numbers in relation to the Mama Art Gallery, with 14,396 in the past month, and also an impressive number of unique online inquiries to the Visit Albury Wodonga site with 16,471 inquiries there. I'm sure this is partially due to the extensive links that's provided by Albury Airport, which has been mentioned earlier this evening, really connecting Albury better than ever before, in a really positive tourism numbers as well. And with tomorrow's launch of Canberra to Albury, it only just adds to the repertoire and the connectivity of Albury. So, yeah, well done.
Thank you, Councillor Callaghan. Councillor Glacken, did you wish to sum up debate at all? Happy to put the motion then, councillors. Those for? Those against? That motion is carried. Thank you. CM 14.3, 2021-22 Annual Water and Wastewater Performance Results. Councillor Thurley.
Thank you, Mayor King. I move that council receives and notes the 2021-22 Annual Water and Wastewater Performance Results.
Thank you. Councillor Edwards.
I second the motion, making.
Thank you. Councillor Thurley, did you wish to speak to the motion?
Just briefly, basically what this program, this report shows is that the Albury water and wastewater treatment businesses are working extremely well. We rate very highly in all the categories, and compared to many New South Wales councils, we're way in front. And that's a credit to Mr. Warlow and his team, and I commend the report.
You. Any speakers for or against? Speaker for, Councillor Glacken.
Yes, simply to highlight, this clarifies that we have very good water. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Callaghan, speaker for.
Thank you. I'd also like to highlight, I think we have the best water. I go to other towns, I buy my water, which I hate to do, but I don't filter anything here. It's the best water. So, yeah, it's true.
Thank you, Councillor Callaghan. Okay. Councillor Thurley, do you wish to sum up debate? Happy to put the motion. Councillors, those for? Those against? That motion is carried. Thank you. CM 15, delegates' reports for noting. There are none. CM 16, notice of urgent business, councillors. Councillor Callaghan.
Thank you, Mayor King. It's not urgent business, but it's business nonetheless that I've discussed with you. So thank you for the opportunity, Mayor King, to talk about. It was my pleasure to represent Albury City Council at La Trobe University last week to congratulate the recipients on receiving their educational bursaries. It was a real pleasure to be there, and the recipients that received the awards were absolutely thrilled, and one noting that it pushed her to the end to finish her degree. So I'd like to congratulate Tamara Peterson-Taylor, who received the Albury City Community Leadership Prize. I'd like to congratulate Zoe Rounds, who received the Albury City Student Bursary for Psychology, Lisa Oliver, who received the Albury City Student Bursary for Social Work, and Llewellyn Visser, who received the Albury City Student Bursary for Business. So it's wonderful that Albury City can contribute in a positive way to their educational experiences and to their future prosperity working in Albury-Wodonga. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Callaghan. Any more items of urgent business? CM17, confidential matters. There are none. I declare the meeting closed at 6:31 p.m.